China.
Are you ready?
Join on a corner where the big boys play.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ask StreamYard. Hello, Kate. She says she's looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this as well because this is a question we get all the time, right? All the time we get this question. Good morning, Daniel. Hello, Daniel, as well. And we got Blutch watching from Belgium today. Welcome as well. Oh, we got all kinds of people watching from Chicago. I lived in Chicago for a couple of years and loved it. I love that city. Now I'm in Indiana, just a little hop, skip, and a jump away from Chicago. So hello, Kathy, watching from Chicago. Hello, we got Arizona in the house. We got Dale, he's in Arizona. William Oscar Garvin. Hello, William. Welcome to the stream. We've got all kinds of people. Kenya, once again. Italy. We got Italy in the house. Western Australia. Oh my gosh, everybody from all over the country, all over the world. I love this. That's what's so fun about what we're able to do here with live video is we can actually meet people from all over the place. We can talk to people. We can help people no matter where we're located. I'm just located in little old Muncie, Indiana, right? Little old Muncie, Indiana in the United States. And I think it's absolutely incredible that we can do these types of things. I'm sitting here in my little studio downstairs in my office. They're mowing outside. You might hear a lawnmower. So sorry about that noise if you hear that, but it's actually pretty awesome. So sitting here in my comfy clothes, got my cozy StreamYard sweatshirt on today and hanging out with you guys. So Nicola says, is this being recorded? So essentially it is being recorded because we are live streaming. So you're watching, Nicola's watching from LinkedIn. This is also being streamed over to our Facebook page, inside our Facebook group over on Facebook, as well as our YouTube channel and on Twitter. And so those recordings, so when it's live streamed like that, you can watch a replay. Now, it's not necessarily, it's also being recorded inside of our StreamYard cloud. So I don't know if you guys all noticed, if you're a StreamYard user, we just released the new UI, the user interface for your recording. So your past recordings are now in a video library. So much better UI design, awesome stuff. So very, very good things here. So essentially, we're streaming, we're live right now, but yes, you can watch a replay, of course, anytime on any of the platforms where we are streamed. I will say, I personally think it's the easiest to find these episodes over on our YouTube channel. So definitely make sure you head over to our YouTube channel, subscribe to that channel. It's very easy to find our tutorials, our feature videos, as well as we have a lot of really great videos. A few of them by yours truly, as well as some of our other, contributors that help us provide tips and strategies so that you can improve your live videos. And so definitely make sure you head over to our YouTube channel. You can also see that we have a playlist for all of these episodes, these Ask StreamYard episodes. So with that being said, I wanted to talk to you guys and let you know, if this is your first time tuning in, this is what we call the Ask StreamYard show. And so this is where we take your questions that you post and we decide, we look at them and we're like, which of these questions do we feel would really benefit if we took a good deep dive and answered the question? And so we call this the Ask StreamYard show. Right now I am your host and I love taking deep dives on your questions. Today's topic, I will say, we didn't necessarily pick one person for this because so many people ask this question. We see this question all the time. It comes up often. It comes up in our live Q&As that we do. It just simply is one of those things that I think people want to learn about. And that is essentially using your smartphone as a webcam. So we're going to be talking about that here in just a moment. But I wanted to let you know that if you do want to be featured in this show, if you want your question to be featured, simply use the hashtag AskStreamYard and we might select it. And if we select your question to feature on the show, we're actually going to not only feature you, but we're also going to send you a free StreamYard t-shirt. It's one of our black t-shirts. I love mine. I wear it all the time. Today, it is cold in Indiana. I woke up and it was 29 degrees. There was frost everywhere and it's chilly. So I'm cozy in my StreamYard sweatshirt. So I wanted to let you know that, but we will send you a free t-shirt as well. So definitely make sure you use that hashtag. And if we select your question, then that's what we're going to do. We're going to get going with it, right? Let me get my branding all set up here. My goodness, my little logo wasn't there. It was missing. So yes. Okay. So today we are going to be talking about using your smartphone as a webcam. And so here's the deal. The reason that we selected this particular topic was honestly because, again, we get this question all the time. How do you use your smartphone as a live video webcam? Now, here's the thing. What I'm going to share with you today is actually going to be able to be applied to anywhere that you use a webcam on your computer. So a Zoom call, a Google Meet call, any other video applications that you might be using to record videos where you want to use your computer, like Loom, for example. A lot of people use Loom to record screen shares and things. What I teach you today is going to not only allow you to use your smartphone as your webcam when you use StreamYard for your live videos, it's also going to work on any platform, any application on your computer that calls for a webcam. So it essentially is taking your phone and it's having your computer recognize it as a webcam. So I'm going to talk to you about what you need to do and some things to consider when you want to use this method, if you will. So one of the things that we get asked a lot, let me check in on everybody in the comments. I've got to say hello to everybody. I want to make sure. Here's the thing. I will tell you, I will absolutely answer your questions, but what I want you to do is I want you to hold your questions for just a few minutes. Let me go through a few things, and then I want you to go ahead and just ask away. And I'm going to have you put a Q in front of that question so that I can find that question fairly easily. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be talking to you and doing some demonstrations, and so I want to focus on that. And so I am going to look at the comments. I'm going to be watching the comments, but I definitely don't want to miss your questions. So all I'm going to ask is, hold those questions for just a few more minutes, okay? Do me a favor and hold those questions. So if you've asked the question, I might have you repeat the question. So checking in on everybody, I believe, hello, Andy. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. And we've got New Orleans in the house. Oops, I missed that one. New Orleans in the house. Vicky is here as well, watching from New Orleans. Fantastic. So this is going to be good. Looking forward to this. Learning, desert adventures in Arizona. I'm glad that you are looking forward to this. I really am. So I'm definitely excited that you want to learn about this. Now, before I get going any further and start diving in here, the last thing I will say is this. If, we're going to be talking about using your webcam or a smartphone as your webcam. My microphone's all turned here. But if you have a feature request, hold that, and I want you to actually go over to our website, and I want you to go to StreamYard.com/contact. And there's a form there that you can fill out for feature requests. So I actually am not going to be entertaining feature requests. I'm all about feature requests too. Believe me, I got a million ideas for Dan Engage as well when it comes to this awesome application. But what we do here is we collect your feature requests. So you can type them in the comments all day long, but in order to really truly get it into the queue of consideration and everything else, we need you to go over to StreamYard.com/contact. And there's a form there for you to fill out. And the reason we do this is because this is how we're collecting these in a nice environment and keeping track. So features are great. We love to hear your feedback. Be as detailed as possible so that we can entertain your ideas. So, okay. Well, are we ready to do this? We're ready to do this. I hope we are. We got everybody's here. We got lots of people watching live, which is absolutely fantastic. Super excited about this. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Again, what we're talking about today is we are going to be talking about using your smartphone as a live video webcam. But again, the bonus to this is you can absolutely use your phone as a webcam on lots of applications. But here's another thing that's actually really, really cool. If you have an OBS studio set up, if you have other things and it calls for multiple devices, you can also have it set up for multiple devices. So what I want to talk about first is why you would actually need to use a webcam. So let's talk about this. Should you use your phone as a webcam? Because many people have webcams. They've got a Logitech webcam, for example, probably the most popular brand of USB webcams possible. But let me break this down really quick. What is the difference between a built-in webcam and a plug-in webcam, a USB webcam? There's essentially three types of webcams that we are mostly familiar with when it comes to going in and opening up an application and selecting a webcam. So let's talk about this really quick. The first type The very first type is the built-in webcam. What this is if you open up a laptop, a lot of them have that little tiny webcam inside there. You see a little lens at the top of your screen. If you have, one of those all-in-one computers, they're very popular these days, where basically it looks like a big monitor, but it's actually the computer as well. A lot of times at the very top of the screen, you will see a little lens, a little built-in webcam. So a built-in webcam is essentially that camera is inside of the monitor, okay? Most of those are not very high quality cameras. Now, I will say this. I noticed that the MacBooks, the cameras that they're putting in there, the newer MacBooks have significantly increased in quality. Other computers have higher quality webcams. Newer laptops definitely seem to have a higher quality webcam in them. Your cheaper laptops, those budget laptops, Chromebooks, those types of things, typically have a very, very crappy webcam in them. So if you are dealing with one of those and you open it up, and you're like, hey, I want to go live. I want to use StreamYard, and I want to do this, but my camera sucks. It's terrible. That might be a reason why you might want to consider grabbing your smartphone and using that as your webcam. Because here's the thing: smartphones are not cheap, right? They're not cheap. They're pretty pricey, especially like the iPhones, the Samsung Galaxies, the really good phones. The reason why a lot of those are so expensive is because of the camera hardware and the technology inside. So that camera is a big piece of the cost of those devices. So here we are, we have this basically, $1,000 iPhone in our hand. Let's say $800 of that is for the camera quality. Well, why wouldn't we want to use that as our webcam, especially if we're using these built-in webcams that don't have very good resolution, the color quality is really crappy? That might be a reason why you want to use your webcam, right? Another reason why you might want to use the webcam is if you need to be a little bit mobile moving around. I'll show you that in just a moment. But let's keep moving on the types of webcams. The other type of webcam is what's called a USB webcam. And that is just a basic plug and play webcam. So I actually have a Logitech Brio that is plugged in right behind me. And you notice that the camera quality is not quite what you were just looking at. I'm going to get to that third type here in just a moment. So this one right here, the Brio, is actually a $200 webcam. Pretty popular, but also pretty expensive, right? Is it worth it? That's up to you. It's a wide angle webcam, a great webcam. Honestly, it really is a great webcam. So I wanted to point that out, that there's that. So what you're looking at, the other one, let me see do I have it? I do have it. The other webcam that's really popular is this guy, the Logitech 920, the 922. These hit the market a few years ago. I mean, these are so popular. I currently don't have mine plugged in right now because I just don't need it, and I have all kinds of other things plugged into my computer at the moment. I literally don't have, I do. I have one free port over on my computer. But so USB webcams are nice. You know why? Because they literally plug in and then they work just like that. So you don't have to configure any software or do anything fancy or special at all. You literally pretty much plug it into your computer, into the USB port, and you have a webcam. Now, most of the webcams range from anymore. You can get one of these USB webcams from about a quality webcam. Let me rephrase that. A quality webcam. Anywhere from about $60 to, as I mentioned, up to $200. I would not recommend you spend more than $200 on a webcam, because really I find that there's a bit of an ROI there that's a little challenging. In fact, I would even go ahead and say it may not be worth spending $200 on a webcam. I would go maybe no higher than $150. Now, let me tell you about the third kind of webcam that we can essentially set up. And that is essentially using a DSLR camera. So you may have a Canon camera sitting around, you may have a Sony camera sitting around, and maybe even a Panasonic or a Nikon that you use to take pictures, or maybe for your vlog. You can actually use that as a webcam. You can set that up as a webcam, but you may have tried this before and you plugged it in using the cords and you're like, nothing shows up. I go to change my webcam and my camera doesn't show up. That's because you have to have a capture method in order to convert that signal into a recognizable webcam. So I'm not going to get all fancy with the technology here. All you need to know is that you essentially have to have an interface. And so an interface that's really popular, do I have the box? Yes, I do. Is a Camlink capture card. Now, this is manufactured by Elgato. There are lots of other capture cards on the market. This is the most popular one that I am familiar with. This essentially is going to help you go from your webcam into the back of that device, and then, of course, it plugs into your computer, and voila, you actually have a recognizable webcam using your DSLR. That is what I am currently using at the moment. So I'm using my Sony a6100 camera, and it is going from the camera into that device, which is plugged into my computer. And because of that, when I go to change my webcam, the Camlink is an option, and this is the camera that I'm choosing to use. So there's your three types: built-in webcam, a USB, just a good plug-and-play webcam, and then using a DSLR with a capture method. Now, the only thing I'll say about that is a lot of the manufacturers of these cameras have now come out with an application you can install on your computer that basically interfaces the camera into your computer software that says, hey, all of these apps recognize the Sony as a webcam. So those are called webcam utility apps, and you can install them. However, the downside is that a lot of times they diminish the resolution. So I use that piece because I want that really good quality 1080p signal that I want to send out to all of you. So those are the three types. The reason I wanted to cover that is because you need to understand where you are today, right? So if you already have a really nice webcam, then you probably don't need to use your smartphone as a device. But you might want to be able to toggle between two different camera angles, and you don't want to buy another webcam. That might be a reason. So those of you that are using built-in webcams, you definitely should consider grabbing your phone and using it without spending any extra money. You already have this great camera that you can use as a webcam. Those of you that already have a great USB webcam or are using a DSLR, you might want to consider using your smartphone as a webcam so that you have another angle, another device. So you can do things like this. You can switch. Now I'm using another piece of software. You can see it over here. I'm using OBS. I'm using my OBS virtual camera, and I'm using my Stream Deck to be able to toggle what cameras are being displayed over into StreamYard. So that's a whole different show. That's a whole different show. We're not going down that rabbit hole today. We totally could. But as you can see, I can actually switch from lots of different camera angles because I have 3 different cameras set up. So if you want to be able to do something like that in your show, you might want to consider using your smartphone device instead of investing in a whole nother piece of equipment. So I kind of wanted to break that down for everybody before we really got into the tutorial of the super easy way, the simple way that you can do this. Because if you've already tried this, if you've maybe already tried to plug your phone into your computer and say, please work as a camera, you've already discovered it doesn't work that way. Very similarly to the DSLR camera, it does require an interface. So let's check this out. So somebody maybe wants to know, I think somebody wants to know, I am using a Sony a6100. I just went through that for sure. So EpocCam, I see in the comments here, I use Epoch webcam app on my phone. Totally worth it. Yep. So I'm going to show you EpocCam. That is one of the apps I want to show you all. So for sure. Okay, let me see here. I'm going to check in on everybody before I get going on the actual tutorial because I want to make sure that everybody is all here. Yes, DroidCam, also another one that I have heard of. I do not have that one to demo today, but I certainly have seen that one in a lot of everything I've seen. So for sure. I mean, it's when you research this, you're going to see a lot of options. Okay, so here's what we have. I'm going to show this to you guys. We're going to jump into this here in just a moment. Okay, there we go. I had to get that banner off of there. So again, if you are tuning in, we are talking about using your smartphone as a live video webcam. So next part of the show is I'm actually going to be showing you how, I'm going to talk about the apps you can download to start with so that you can do this. So here's the way this works. Most of these, so here's how it works. As I mentioned, you're going to need an interface. An interface is essentially an application or something that will help the computer recognize a phone as a webcam. Now, that is just in today's world. I have a feeling that eventually, because of how virtual things have changed everything, I have a feeling that eventually computers, everything, the operating systems, we won't need these types of things. We won't need these interfaces. I have a feeling they will just come already set up so that we can plug our phone in or plug our big fancy camera in, and we won't have to have all these other things. That may come, but that's not the way it is today. So right now, you pretty much have to have this way, an interface for your computer to say, yep, I recognize that device that's plugged in, and I'm able to say, hey, device, you're a webcam for all these applications that call for a video. So there are applications out there. We have a video on our YouTube. We actually have a couple of videos over on our YouTube channel about doing this. We actually have a Learn with StreamYard episode that we did. We also have an episode from D. Niman that is very popular, and he talks about the Irian, I think is how you pronounce it, the application. And he simply shows you how simple it is to use that application to interface your computer with your phone. So I'm also going to talk about EpocCam. I did mention that earlier. It is one also made by Elgato. And then there's another application called Reincubate Camo that will also work. I showcased Reincubate Camo on a previous episode of Ask StreamYard, where I showed you essentially how you can apply filters to your webcam using your phone. So if you watch that episode, you've seen a little bit of what I may show you. Or no, you've already know that you can use Reincubate Camo. I'm not going to demo that one today because, to be honest with you, it's bugging out on me today. I can't get it to work. I literally installed the update. They came out with a software update, and now it won't work. So I'm not sure if I need to restart my computer again. I restarted it a couple times, but it didn't work. So we're not demoing Reincubate Camo today. So I'm going to show you the other two applications that I mentioned. Okay, now first things first. You are going to need to understand that you're going to need to, for almost all these apps that you discover out there, because somebody mentioned DroidCam, there are definitely other options you can choose from out there that will allow you to do this. You're probably going to need to install an app on your phone, and you may need to install something on your computer. So, for example, both Irian, and EpocCam, and Reincubate Camo, for that matter, all require this. So you are going to need to install something on your computer and something on your phone. That is essentially how I think the two things talk to each other, right? So I'll understand that. So Christian, just so you know, if you're over on our YouTube channel, he is providing some great links for you all to watch these tutorials that I just mentioned that we've previously done. So if you want those deep dives, you can go over there and check those out. Again, you guys, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, get subscribed. We have got so many great things coming, so many awesome videos coming for you. There's a lot of stuff there. Anything you need to learn about live video, as well as the StreamYard application, there's a lot of great content over there for sure. So definitely check that out. In fact, we just put an episode out there that's got some hacks for y'all. I know you guys love hacks because anytime we do a hack video, everybody goes crazy over it. So make sure you go over there and hang out over there on YouTube and check those stuff out. Not right now, though. Stay with me right here. Stay with me right here. We're hanging out, right? We're good? We're good? Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Okay. So here's the deal. I'm going to open up, I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see the application itself. So the first one I'm going to show you is Irian. So Irian is, of course, as mentioned before, the application that I mentioned that our friend D. Niman did on our YouTube channel, where he actually, did a whole tutorial on this. It's very basic. It's very, very basic, very straightforward. You're simply going to go to Irian.com, okay? And you're going to select your platform, and you're going to download it to your system. I mean, it's that simple. You're going to download it. There's nothing here. There is nothing else fancy about this. You are then going to download it to your phone, and then you're going to download the Irian app on your phone. So it works for both Android, and of course, iOS. Okay, so it works for both of those. Now, what's going to happen is all of these apps, every single one of these apps, no matter which one you choose, is going to say you need to, you open the app on your phone, and it's going to say, hey, you need to give this application permission to access your webcam, your phone, your camera, and your microphone. So you need to make sure you do those, get those settings set up. It'll prompt you as you do it. And then you're actually going to open the app, and you're going to notice that it's usually going, if you have, depending on the phone you have, it's going to default to the rear camera, your main camera. Usually it's the higher quality camera. However, if you want to be able to interface with it, you're going to have to, so if you notice here, like when I say interface with it, so I've got my phone set up, I've got the Irian app open, and it defaulted to the other lens on the other side, which is basically pointing at my patio door with my curtains closed, which is not what we want. Now, I could totally turn this around if I wanted to. If you watch here, I could turn it around, and we would see me, right? That would work. But look, I can't touch anything. I can't use the settings on my phone. And so you're going to find that most of these, I just lost my monitor. You're going to find that most of these you're going to want to use the other lens, your selfie lens. And that is mostly because they are typically going to come with settings that you're going to want to adjust. And so you'll see the little thing there, and now you can see that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and change my webcam in StreamYard to the Irian application on my phone so that that's what you will see. So I'm going to switch back to my main fancy camera, and then we're going to now switch and toggle our actual camera to the Irian webcam. And you're going to notice it's going to do a quick little stretch. That is one thing I noticed about this particular application. Oh, I should look at you. I should look at you into the camera lens, right? So one thing I did notice about this particular app is that it starts out cropped in at a 4:3 ratio on your phone. And then once I bring it into StreamYard, then it kind of like takes a second and it stretches. So here's the thing to keep in mind with that. You probably don't want that to happen like as you're in the middle of a show or recording or even a Zoom meeting or whatever. I personally don't care about things like that. I just don't. I really don't. I'm like, hey, oh, hold on. It's going to get acclimated here in a second. And there we go. On with the show. But some people are really particular, really picky. It depends on the standard that you're going for that you need, right? So that is one little glitch I noticed. So the way you would get around that is just make sure you are in the actual show before, like with your camera, your webcam, before you actually are in the show. So then it just acclimates and then you would be fine. You take it down, you bring it back, and now you're there. Now, here's what's crazy. Checking in on you on the comments. So here's what's crazy. I didn't think you could zoom in. I know that people ask about this all the time. They're like, can you zoom in? I don't think you could before. I don't know what changed, but I can actually zoom in. Oh my gosh. And I'm ready for my close-up. So why would you want to zoom in? Well, as you notice, it's kind of got this wide angle. You can see stuff in the background. Maybe you don't want all that in the background. Maybe you need the camera to be a little further away. You can now zoom in. Well, I don't know when this changed. I'm pretty certain you could not zoom in before. Jennifer says, yes, you can zoom in. I didn't think you could before. So I don't know if something changed with these apps. I have no clue. Honestly, I don't really use this particular method because, as I showed you earlier, I have all the other stuff, right? So, okay. Jennifer says, I zoomed in to focus better on the speaker at the podium rather than the background. There you go. And you will notice, too, that there are some focus features there. Now, the other thing I'm going to say is that all of these particular, you know what I'm going to do while we're hanging out? I'm going to plug this in. I want to do a comparison. Do you guys want to see a comparison? Those of you that have the webcams, you're like, wait, is it better quality than my current webcam? Let's find out. Why not? Why not find out, right? Let me get this set up. I'm just going to plug it in. We're going to do a comparison here in a moment. Let me do this without breaking anything. Oh, my lordy. I got one port left. I have one free port left on my computer, so we can make this happen. This is impromptu. I'm going off script, everybody. No, I didn't have a script. Do you guys think I have a script? I don't have a script. I don't use a script. Okay, so Zoomalooya. Yes, I love it. Okay, so here's the deal. All right, so this is now the Irian app. You're going to notice that almost all these apps that you can access have free versions and then they have paid versions, right? Now, what I notice about the Irian app is I don't see anything fancy in the paid piece. Just seems pretty basic stuff, like you can lock in your aspect ratio and some other things. It's okay, right? The free version, look, we got a great signal here. It's certainly not a, super high definition thing, whatever. Now, I do want to show you what it's going to look like if we switch it around. So let me go back to the Brio here. Let me switch it up. And I'm going to show you also how to actually switch your applications in the... Let me see here. If that's the 920, I think it's 1080. So the 920 I just plugged in is 1080. So we're going to take a look at that here in a moment. We're definitely going to take a look at that in the moment. Mel on the fly. That's right. I am. I'm like, we're gonna have some fun here. Okay, so what was I doing? Oh yeah, I'm gonna switch over to the Brio because I want you to see what I'm doing. Don't screw up. Don't click the wrong thing, Mel. Here we go. Okay, so I'm back on my Brio. So as you can see, here's my webcam, and it actually did default back to. So I'm going to very quickly because I have cables everywhere. Oh my goodness. Now I'm going to have to adjust the angle of my camera. I know that. So I'm going to take a guess. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to switch again back to the Irian webcam. Irian. Oh, look. It's still on my mirrored. So it did save that setting. So let me get this back. Toggle. And now this is what it looks like with the main camera, the forward-facing camera. So let's take a look at that. Do we think that looks different? It seems to be maybe a little more vivid with the colors, possibly. Now, here's the deal. I believe the Pro version of Irian does give you some options with this if you use this particular side of the camera. But as I mentioned, the challenge is that I can't see the other side of my phone to change anything. The benefit is that I can't see any notifications coming in either if people are texting me or doing whatever. So that's kind of nice. But this is a great quality camera. If you look at this, this is actually highly comparable to the Brio in my opinion. So if you have a Logitech Brio, you probably have a picture that looks a lot like this. So this is definitely a comparison. Now let's do a comparison. Let me move this just a hair. Let's do a comparison with my Logitech 920. Let's see if it's going to show up here. I don't know if it is. I may have to. Oh, there it is. Okay, we're switching. Oh, look at that. So now this is the Logitech 920 webcam. That's a pretty big difference. I mean, that's a massive difference in quality. Now, this is a 1080p, 30 frames per second webcam. Very, very like marketable all over the place. There's the 920, there's the 922, a lot, right? Now, the colors are not as vivid at all, right? The sharpness is fairly close, but, you know, we'll see what happens there, right? So one of those kind of things. So the Brio, I agree. The Brio's better. So the Brio I have back here, that's up here, but that's a $200 webcam. This thing right now is like, I think you can get the 920 for like $75 if I'm not mistaken. So it's a very inexpensive webcam. It used to be more than that. It's come down. Now Logitech has their StreamCam now. They've got their webcam, Pro, whatever. So you can definitely spend $100, $130 on a webcam. You can also spend $200 on a webcam. The Brio is a $200 webcam. If you have this and you're like, oh, I don't want that, I want different quality, well, then you might want to consider using your phone as your webcam. And here we are. We're going back to my phone. It's going to pop into, there we go. This is my phone. This is my actual iPhone that we're using here. Now, you're going to notice the saturation's pretty high on this. So it's pretty crazy, but this is going to be very comparable to the Brio. So I have a Brio, like I said, I definitely know. So yeah, the color is a lot different. Massive difference, right? Okay, so let me see here. Wealth Engineering says, for streaming purposes, this is great, but your lighting also brings the best out the camera. Yeah, so my lighting is definitely a factor. So I'm glad that Wealth Engineering is bringing this up because in order to, if you're using a USB webcam, I don't care if it's the $200 Brio or the $50 off-brand product, or if you're using your iPhone, if you don't have good lighting, it's not going to be a very good quality picture because these are using artificial intelligence, they're using an automatic white balance. You're going to notice a significant difference in the quality. Yes, I can. I can turn off my lights so that you can see what that's going to look like actually really quickly. So let me do that. I can do that. I love it. I love the lighting aspect because that is a key factor if you're going to use a phone and any kind of webcam at all. Okay, let me just see if I can do this quickly easily without totally breaking everything. Okay. There we go. All right, now I don't have any lights on in front of me. So you notice it's a pretty big difference. It's not really the look we're going for unless it's like a Halloween spooky haunted house themed stream, but definitely not the best. Now we're going back to the 920. As you can see here, also not great quality. And you notice when I move around, the camera's having to work harder. Also, it shows like my like bags under my eyes and like just the coloring is not great. So I definitely don't love not having good lighting. Lighting is a key factor for sure, no matter what type of device you are using to stream. Okay, let me go ahead and get back to my Cam Link, which is the camera that makes I knew I was going to do that. I broke it. I knew I was going to do that. Okay. So I have to fix something really fast so that we can bring things back. Hold on a second. Okay. I think I'm going to be good. Cam Link is going to be broken. Let me close this. Yes. Let me switch up here because I want to be able to show you the different camera angles. So what's going to happen here is I'm actually going to have to come literally right back. So hold on a second. This is going to be fine. It's not going to take very long. Let me switch this to that. Actually, I may not have to do that. Hold on, we're getting cheeky here. Okay, so the next one I'm going to talk about, by the way, so the one I just talked about was the Irian application. We are good to go. Sweet. Let me turn my, I don't have to, I thought I was going to have to leave the stream and come back. I have 3 cameras in front of me. I got to make sure I look at the right one. Okay, let me get back to business here. We're getting back to business, back on track. Okay. That was terrifying. Okay, here we go. So we just talked about the Irian application. Now before, I want to show you the EpocCam because I actually really like the EpocCam app too. Irian is simple, basic. There's not much to it. Flip this back around. There's not much to it at all. It's literally, it's simple. So I don't know how else to put it. But the EpocCam gives you a lot of other options. Now, again, Epoch is made by Elgato. So if you go to Elgato and you go to the EpocCam, you're going to note, oh, the website's being funky. Let me try to refresh this. When you go to, if you just do a quick Google search for it or just go to the elgato.com in EpocCam, you will actually find the application. But the website is being weird now. Okay, let me try this. I don't know what's going on. Everything just gonna be weird. Okay, so let me show you this video because some of you were like probably getting a little bit confused because I was toggling all the cameras, but I want to show you this really fast. So very much like the Irian app, you're going to need to download EpocCam. You're also going to need to download EpocCam on your computer. So here we go. So here's the website is now functioning. So you notice here, it's a pretty cool website. I love all of Elgato's products. In fact, the microphone I'm using is an Elgato product. The lights that I was just turning on and off are also Elgato products as well. So if you go to the website, it's pretty much going to give you a pretty cool like marketing thing here. It's going to basically try to convince you need to try this out. And then you scroll down, it's going to show you some applications. You keep going. And it's going to give you an awesome step-by-step. Another reason why I love Elgato, they like to make things simple. So you're going to download the EpocCam, okay? Oh, this may only be available for iPhones. I just noticed that there is not an Android version for this. So that's going to be a disadvantage for you Android users. So then it will work on a Mac or a PC. So you're going to need to download both of those. And then you are going to need to connect your phone. Now, what's nice about EpocCam is it will work both with a cable and it will also work over Wi-Fi as long as you're connected to the same network. I like that. I thought that was actually a nice feature. And then you're basically good to go. So EpocCam there, it basically says, get it going. But here's what's also really cool is it comes with other things you can do to change your actual, the view of you. So they are definitely adding more to it. This I love. If you notice here, she's using, this is what I was talking about earlier about if you want to have 2 cameras. She's using EpocCam on her phone to basically do an overhead shot of what's on her desk, but she is also using a Sony camera I think that's a Sony. That might be a Canon. She's using a DSLR camera going into, of course, their probably capture card. And she's using OBS. If you notice here, if you notice on that, you can see that she's using the OBS application and she's toggling between those two camera views. I thought that was really cool. And I wanted to show that to you all because I thought that was maybe some inspiration for any of you that are actually already using a nice webcam and you want that second camera. This is an option for you that you can actually consider. So that's what we're doing there. Now, before I go any further, I want to make sure that everybody knows. I want to make sure everybody knows how to switch between these. So when I say select EpocCam or as your webcam, I made a little video really quickly to just kind of give you a quick tutorial. So when you open up StreamYard, and this is going to apply to any of the applications that you're using a webcam for, you're going to select the appropriate webcam. Now you're going to notice in this tutorial that I show you, I have lots of options, okay? So I have lots of options for my computer, but you will want to select the app. Don't look for iPhone or, Galaxy phone. You're going to be looking for the app as your webcam option because that's essentially the interface. So let me show you this really quickly. Okay, so you'll notice here that, I'm clicking on the settings, go to your camera, and then there is EpocCam. Now, when you're in your stream, you can also go down and change your camera at the bottom as well, which is what I was doing earlier. So you can actually change it midstream as well. So you can switch around. And that's the other thing I wanted to show you because I was doing that earlier. So some people say, whoa, how do you switch cameras like that? You can actually, while you're streaming, if you have two cameras hooked into your computer, you can go down and change your webcam down at the bottom of your studio, like I showed you in that tutorial or in that little video, is you can actually click on that and change your webcam in the middle of your stream. Now, I think that's pretty awesome, personally. So you can just start with one camera, and she's, as I showed you in the in this little video, she's using OBS where she's able to very easily do this. I personally do the same thing. I find it very seamless. I like to be able to control the transition. I love that. But it is adding more resources to my computer system. So if you're using a fairly basic computer, I do not recommend that you use OBS. Now, you notice that she's pushing that button as well. That's a little Stream Deck. It's a little miniature one. It's awfully cute. I personally have a Stream Deck as well, and that's how I'm able to toggle between things. So what I'm describing here is when I'm able to hit these buttons that you see here on my Stream Deck, because I'm using OBS. So I'm able to toggle between these different cameras, and then you can see what we have there. I wanted to show this to you because a lot of people ask about this type of stream. They say, I want to be able to go to different angles. I want to be able to do different things. So you could be looking at a lot of expense by adding more cameras. Or, if you're not doing that type of video all the time, then just use your phone. Definitely one of those things. Just use your phone. It's a great quality camera, as you saw a second ago. So let's look at EpocCam while we're at it. So let me switch over to EpocCam, which I have open. It's all ready to go. And one thing I noticed right away is that the colors are different. So one of the things I definitely noticed was that the vibrance of the color in the Irian app was way more. I mean, if you look here, I just don't look quite as vibrant. The contrast is really what I'm noticing as a major difference here. So definitely different apps are not the same. So you might want to explore different versions, different options for this type of method for you. But what I did notice, and by the way, you can also, you can zoom if you pay for it, I think. You have to pay for the zoom on EpocCam. So I believe that's the case. If anyone has any, thoughts there, let me know. Then can you flip? So you can flip, actually. So flipping right now. So I just flipped the orientation. You can also do vertical, but if you do vertical, it is actually, let me flip back. So there's a button there. So you can flip, and then I can also go like, oh my gosh. I can also go like this, but you notice that when you go vertical, it puts black bars because we're using StreamYard, which is a landscape-oriented streaming application. But it does orient and reorient itself. Hopefully that did not make anyone dizzy. I apologize if it did. Now my tripod's all funky. Let me fix that real fast. Okay, back in business. All right, might be a little crooked, but that's okay. So this is the selfie camera. All right, so I'm in the selfie camera mode right now. Now I will show you, let's take a look at what the other lens looks like. So here is And you'll notice that this particular one, again, the lenses are different. So your selfie lens is not going to be the same as your main lens, especially on the iPhones. They're a difference in quality. So you're going to notice the colors are a lot more vibrant. This looks pretty comparable to, again, the Logitech Brio camera. So the Logitech Brio has very vibrant colors. It's a wide angle. So you do notice there is a little bit of a difference between that selfie camera and this one. However, I still feel like that this maybe, it's not quite as, the other one I felt the Irian version was almost too saturated. There was almost too much color. It was a bit bright, in my opinion. This one's a little more true. So I do like it. I think it's a good quality image. So there you have it, right? So let me go back to the selfie mode. Now, one thing you notice is this right here. And that is because I'm on the free version of this application. Again, that is another one of those little bit of downsides that you have to always consider when you're doing this. Let me flip back. Now, let me get back here. Let's see if I can I'm going to show you guys something that I thought was really pretty cool. So the other thing, okay. So the other thing that this has is when you're in the app, again, the other reason why you would want to be on selfie mode is because there are some filters and some options that come with it, with the free version, okay, with the free version. So let me actually click on something. Oh boy, and there's a little menu in here and everything. Okay, but let me click on this, focus. So focus locked is what it says. This might be something that if you find interesting. However, I don't know if you would or not, because quite frankly, almost all of the applications now come with artificial intelligence where we can change our background. But, and if you notice, because it's artificial intelligence, it has a lot of issues with it. Now, I have not tried this ever, so we're going to give this a try. Again, going off script. I'm actually going into StreamYard now, and I am going to use the green screen option, because what EpocCam just did is it gave me a fake green screen. This is not going to look good. I'm just, because look, when I move around, it's like very confused. I'm going to go ahead and go into StreamYard. If you go into StreamYard and you click on your camera settings in the studio, down at the bottom, like I showed you earlier, one of the menu options is going to be green screen. And if you select that, you can pick a green screen. Is it going to work? I don't know if it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work because it's too much virtualness. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was going to work or not. It did not work. Okay, green screen, back to none. Okay, that was craziness. So virtual backgrounds are becoming more popular because, again, of all the virtual work people were doing last year where everybody was working from home. The other one that you have is this blurred background. I hate this. It is way too blurry. It does not look good. Okay. You got other filters as well because the whole says point at my ears. Oh, look at that. So these are built into EpocCam. We can thank Snapchat for all of this right here. Whoa. Breaking news. Oh, look at me. Look at me sitting at the news desk. Now, this is kind of cool. I have not tried this yet. So this is actually, I mean, you guys, that was fun. Like hold on, I got to get a ticker going on the screen now. Here we go. Hold on. I got to do this. And in today's news, I mean, come on. That's pretty fun. That's pretty fun, don't you all think? I mean, I personally have never, ever done that. Okay. All right. So, okay. The other one, let's see what this one is. This one is VHS. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm an 80s kid, so I remember Betamax too. Pixel, black and white, clean. What? I don't know what that is. Oh, yeah, there you go. We got these crazy things. So these are all the filters built in that come with the free Vivid. These come with the free EpocCam application. So I got to do this one more time because that was honestly, a little bit too much fun. Breaking news. Oh man, I almost wish I had some music to play. So yeah, so seriously, look at me. I'm sitting here at this news desk. Personally, I think this is actually kind of crazy. You can all see the look on my face, like how fun I think this is. So, I can't help myself. This is too much fun. All right, we have to get back to business though, don't we? Okay, so that one was pretty fun. I gotta admit. Yeah, that love that one. You guys, this is fun. So again, if you want to have some fun with your streams, these applications, these technologies, they are coming out with things. So another reason why you might want to just use a smartphone, because this is all built into this app. Oh, what was that? Look at that. Woo, my goodness. That is like craziness right there. So what it's doing is it's using artificial intelligence, and it's able to do very much like what the Snapchat filters do and all of those. Now, again, if you watched the episode where I talked about using filters in your streams, that's another reason why you might want to do that. But again, also consider your audience. Always think about, is this the right fit for your audience to be doing something like this? But here's the thing that makes me really excited. What makes me super excited about this technology is quite frankly, if they can do things like this and give us the newscaster thing, think about what else is coming down the pike, right? Think about what else is coming. Think about the other fun things that are going to be available for us when it comes to using our phones or just creating fun, engaging content. So again, if there was ever a time to get going with live video, it's now. Get used to it now. Have fun with it now, because look at all this fun stuff. I can't even believe that. I still can't believe the breaking news thing. I just think it's so much fun. I mean, it's too much fun for me. I mean, I was like, you all saw how much fun I had with that. So, I mean, what better time than to get going with live video, right? Use the application, play around with things, tinker with stuff. I always say it, you don't need anything. You need a phone. That's the bare minimum of what you need to start creating live videos. And now, right? And now, you don't even have to buy a fancy webcam. You can just use your phone and even create better videos than people that are using fancy stuff, because you can have so much fun using these applications. Now, again, one of the things that I'll say is that a lot of these apps are going to be free, but you might want to consider the paid version, because the paid version is going to unlock other features. For example, the zoom on the EpocCam, as well as some other features that are in there. And then also, they're not expensive. $8. That's think about it. $8 or $80 to $200 for a webcam, or $1,200 to have the picture that you see right now with me. Literally, camera, lens, capture card, cable, dummy battery. I'm $1,200. I actually think it's more than that now that I really think about adding it all up. That's one of those things, right? So there you have it. So that is something I wanted to point out. So our background. You have to have 1,000 subs before you use your phone. I think you're talking about YouTube. Let me see if I can find are you responding to someone's question? Because here's what I'll say. Yes, if you want to go live natively on YouTube with just your phone, you do. But you can also just go to StreamYard.com and use the StreamYard application on your phone, have all the same features, and you can stream to YouTube that way. So that's the workaround. If you don't have 1,000 subscriptions on YouTube, you can still use your mobile device to go live on YouTube. So back to what I said, you really just only need your smartphone. So bare minimum, you need a smartphone. But also that smartphone you can also use it and do all these other cool things. I mean, one more time for the folks in the back, right? I mean, I got to do this one more time because it's too much fun. It's just too much fun. One more time. I really seriously can't hold myself, right? So I'm glad that Mike Murray is glad that I'm having fun, because this is way too much fun. All right, I'm going to get back to seriousness. So again, we talked about Irian, we talked about EpocCam, and we talked about some best practices. But the last thing I wanted to share with you, because I got a bonus tip. I like to have a good bonus tip for you guys. This is the bonus tip. Do you know what this is? This is a microfiber cloth. And what you need to make sure you do before you ever consider using your smartphone device is clean your lens. Because when our lenses get dirty, we touch our phones all day long. They're in our pocket. They're on our table. That we put fingerprints on them. So the other thing I'll say is, if you are going to use your phone, clean your lens before you go live. Clean both sides of your lenses. That also applies for pictures and anything else. I can always see a picture, scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, and I'm like, oh, they didn't clean their lens. Gives it that hazy look. So always make sure you clean that lens before you actually go live, for sure. Same goes for anything else that you're touching and doing all those things. So yeah, Robin's Egg Blue Creation says, my phone is my second overhead camera. Works great. Yeah, I mean, seriously, as I mentioned, that's what I loved about that little EpocCam video that I showed you earlier, was what they were doing there. So today we talked about using your smartphone as your webcam. And that is what I wanted to show with you guys today. Is when we talked about some best practices, we talked about some other items, but also lots of different apps. Perfect. Thank you, Neil's World Tech Bites. Lots of Filmic Pro. That's another one actually that I saw. That is a bit of a more techie one for sure. So these are all great options. Thank you for posting those for sure. Super, super big fan of that. Christian is letting us all know what Whoosh.com. He likes the screen cleaner there. So thank you for posting that for sure, Christian. So we had a good time today. Did we? Did we have a good time? Well, hello, James 6. Well, better late than never, right? We had fun today too. So I didn't even know about that newscaster thing. I mean, I think I found a new toy. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Do you think that I should use that? I think it's fun. Again, as I'm getting after it, definitely one of those things where, as I mentioned, when I see stuff like this and I see how they continuously are adding things and adding available features, that it just is showing us that video is not going anywhere. These applications are investing in giving us more features that are going to make things great, right? And with that, I want to let you know that Dan Engaged on Sunday nights. If you're not tuning into the town hall on Sunday nights, make sure you tune in, because that's where you're going to learn about what they're working on. It's a great place. They ask questions. They'll say, hey, some of you have asked for, virtual backgrounds. What would you use this for? What kind of virtual backgrounds do you want? That is an opportunity for you to speak to the guys that are making all the decisions at the top. Dan Engaged, the founders of StreamYard. So make sure you're tuning into those town halls. Sometimes that's also where they announce new features. And so, for example, your video library is now available. So if you go to StreamYard and open up your studio, you're going to notice that you now have a video library. That is where all your past streams are located now. It's just a better UI experience for you. But it's a great place on those town halls. It's a great place to learn about what's coming, what they're working on, and to provide your input about how you might want to use some of these features. And the last thing I'm going to say is that there are new features coming, and there are amazing new features coming. My lips are sealed. I will say no more. But again, all of these applications, the EpocCam, the Reincubate Camo, the Snapchat filter thing that I showed you a few weeks ago, they're all investing in providing us with these tools to create better quality videos and where we can have fun and be engaging. So again, if there wasn't a better time to get into live video, now is the time. So if anything's holding you back, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's so many helpful videos for you there, between things about being confident on camera, to strategies for lighting, for cameras, for equipment, for how to design overlays, how to create videos to support your streams. There's so much there for you. So there's a huge hub of information. So go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out. And this is also where you'll find all of our past recordings of our Ask StreamYard show. So with that being said, my friends, that's what I've got for y'all today. So I hope this was fun for you as it was for me. It's certainly Mike Murray. Thank you. Appreciate it. Glad that you thought it was fun. And literally, let's just get out there. Let's have some fun. Let's go make some live videos, reach your goals, do all the cool things. So, all right, everybody. Now, next week, we'll be back again for another episode of Ask StreamYard on Wednesday, the 10th. So November 10th at 11 a.m. We will be here hanging out with you again. So make sure you're subscribed where you love to watch most so you don't miss anything coming up. So, all right, everybody, I will talk to you later. Again, thank you for watching. See ya.